Welcome to Undercurrent. My name is Roman Kavanagh and I currently live in South Africa, and for the very first time in a long time, no one seems to know what the political future of this country actually is. So in this video, I'm going to try and explain what my views are based on the evidence that I see. You're free to disagree, of course, just leave a comment, but here are the fundamental trends you need to understand. Number one, the African National Congress is losing support. It was at 70% support in 2004. Most recently, it was at 39% in 2024. And I think it's just going to completely degrade support going forward. By 2029, I'll be surprised if it's at 30% between you and I. And why is this? It's actually very, very simple. The more radical the ANC becomes, the less people like it. Because people vote for the ANC if their living conditions improve. In 2004, when it was at 70%, we had 5% economic growth. There was a new clinic opening every 2 weeks. Houses were being built, roads were being made. It was a great time to be alive in South Africa, and it shows in the voting patterns. The ANC was popular because people's lives got better. But since 2010, 2012, the economy has stagnated completely due to the radical policies of the ANC. And since then, ANC support has cratered and will continue to crater because, in my estimation, there's no one in the ANC that actually wants to reform the ANC. They're pursuing full-length socialism through the NHI, they're increasing BEE, they're making it difficult for people to make money, for people to get a job, and therefore, I don't see why the ANC would actually reverse the course and actually become popular again. So that's the first assumption. The ANC will continue to decline. People are worried about the MK party and the EFF, but I think those parties are basically waiting for the funeral because they're both personality cults. They don't offer anything materially. They don't offer real services. They don't offer real life-changing opportunities for people. They just love the leaders of those parties, Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma's 82, 83. I don't think he'll last very long. Julius Malema is 30-something or 40-something, but what has he actually done? I think people are a little bit tired of the shouting and the cajoling and things like that, but he doesn't actually do anything. So he is an aspirational figure in terms of people can look at him and say, I'll vote for him because he aspires me to do something. But he hasn't done anything. And I think with the exodus of the talent from the EFF, I think they're on sort of a road to nowhere, and there will be a 2 to 3% party in time to come. So those are the trends. Like the hardcore socialist left-wing parties are actually dying out in South Africa. Whereas on the center-left side, the Democratic Alliance will not reach 30% of the vote. They are liberal Democrats in a country that is not at all a liberal democracy in terms of what people think. People here are mostly nationalists, mostly pragmatic, mostly conservative. They want to make sure that their children can go to school, that they can eat, that they have a job. They're not too worried about climate change and shit like that. But the DA really is. So the DA will keep its core of minority voters, but that's about it. It's not going very far elsewhere. So if we have a decline of these sort of black nationalist parties and the DA is holding steady at 20%, where does everyone else go? Well, it's very difficult to find out because fundamentally, I don't think there's any political party that really understands what South African people want. And it's basically only three things: jobs, safety, and a border. That is it. These are three pragmatic things that South African people want. But I can't think of a single party that actually has a plan for any of these three things. So in essence, my contention is that there's a massive opportunity for a brand new party that is pragmatic, center-right, that focuses on immigration, solving crime, and getting people jobs. And importantly, this is not radical, this is not ideological, this is not like you have to be a fascist or a communist or a conservative or a liberal or whatever the case might be. You just have to make things work. You just have to be extremely pragmatic. And I think that pragmatism is going to appeal to a lot of people across the caliber in this country. And even in terms of those three things that I pointed out, the policies are also very, very simple. For border control, deport all illegal immigrants. Make it very difficult for illegal immigrants to access any kind of public services. Enforce the laws, build a wall. These things are simple. America's doing it. Hungary's doing it. Just copy what they're doing. Not difficult. Crime. How do you solve crime? Again, very, very simple. Get a meritocratic police force. Suspend the constitution for a period of years so that you can deport illegal immigrants, that you can find criminals, that you can lock them up without trial and let it play out. Make sure that it's seen as high status to become a police officer. Give them the materials they need. Thousands and hundreds of thousands of police officers want to do their jobs, but the management is lacking and don't want them to do their jobs. So that's why we end up with the most crime-ridden, violent country in the entire world. And then for the economy, it's very simple. Cut taxes. Right. Remove any handbrake to economic activity. Remove the minimum wage. Remove the unions. Let people just do the work and get money. Again, not difficult. Just copy and paste policies from every other country in the world. We don't need to be radical in this country. We just need to be pragmatic. But if there is such a political party, it will only happen if, and I repeat myself, elites fund it. Nothing happens unless it gets funding. And nothing happens unless the elites fund it in particular. So the elites now are focused on the GNU. They're pouring all their money and effort into ensuring that the government of national unity exists. But I think that is starting to wane. What this new pragmatic political party needs is R1 billion to get started, world-class marketers and strategists to make sure the messages are spread out to as many people as possible. Especially in a country like ours where people don't have internet access, it's difficult to penetrate those markets, but you can do it with enough money. And most importantly, if you can achieve mass messaging with lots of money, you can get 10, 15, even 20% of the vote. And once you have that hold in Parliament, it's very difficult to lose it unless you're a bit dumb and you destroy yourself. But overall, politics in this country will change if the elites allow it to change. So the fundamental question is, will the elites fund something new? Maybe. Not right now though. Let's give it a few years. But if they don't fund anything new, we're just going to have rocky coalition after rocky coalition and nothing will actually get done in this country. And I'm not too sure that's a good future for any of us.